Knowing everything but missing the one. Gita Then and Now, Chapter 7, Part 1. When knowledge becomes a wall. Then, Krishna begins a new tone in Chapter 7. The battlefield remains, Arjuna's doubts linger, but Krishna's voice shifts from the personal to the universal. He opens the gates to deep metaphysics. He says, "Out of thousands, only a few seek me, and among those few, only a rare soul truly knows me as I am." This statement stings, because Arjuna isn't an ordinary seeker. He's in the middle of a divine conversation, face to face with Krishna. If even he isn't guaranteed full realization, what about us? But Krishna isn't dismissing effort. He's highlighting the rare intimacy of true knowing. The Gita moves beyond philosophy and into essence. Krishna now speaks not just as a charioteer or a friend, but as the very fabric of existence. The source behind water's taste, the strength in the strong, the brilliance of the sun and the moon. He is not in things. He is things. Yet we rarely see it. Now, you've read books, watched lectures, taken courses, you've followed spiritual accounts, shared quotes, even memorized shlokas. You know the words. But something feels distant, disconnected. Despite all your learning, there's a quiet ache inside. Why don't I feel it? You know a lot, but do you know the one? It's easy today to confuse information with wisdom. We scroll endlessly, jumping from one video to the next. We collect teachings like trophies. But instead of leading us inward, knowledge can become another distraction, something that feeds the intellect, but leaves the soul empty. This is what Krishna warns Arjuna about. He explains how the world is woven from eightfold material energy: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. All magnificent, all divine. But behind them all is the ninth. His higher energy, the soul, the self, the eternal spark. And until we realize that spark, not just as a concept, but as our own source, we remain caught in fragmentation. Then, Krishna doesn't ask Arjuna to abandon the world. He invites him to see it differently, to move from naming things to knowing their nature, from labeling reality to living its unity. This isn't anti-knowledge, it's beyond knowledge. True knowing isn't accumulation, it's absorption. It's when the boundary between the knower and the known dissolves. When you stop studying water and start tasting it. When you stop describing the sky and simply look at it, until you disappear into the vastness. Now, maybe you felt it. Brief moments when you walked in nature and felt an invisible presence. When a line in a book brought tears for no reason. When someone said something simple and your whole being lit up. Those are not just moments, those are windows. But then, the mind returns. It wants certainty, definitions, logic, and slowly, you retreat again, into reading, collecting, understanding, and forget to simply be. We've been trained to chase enlightenment like a degree. We think it comes with complexity, but Krishna keeps saying the opposite. He says, "I am easy to reach, but only for those whose hearts are undivided." This isn't about effort, it's about openness, simplicity, longing. You don't have to master everything, you have to mean it. The Gita isn't asking you to know all the scriptures. It's asking you to feel the source behind them, to move from intellect to intimacy, from explanation to experience. Then, Krishna says the wise know him as the cause of all causes, and they worship with love, not fear. They see him in the rising sun, in the falling rain, in their breath, not just in temples, but in every atom of creation. He warns that many worship him in parts, in names, in forms, in temporary manifestations, but they miss the whole. And so, their fulfillment is partial. Now, you might follow a spiritual routine, pray daily, even chant mantras. But if it becomes mechanical, even the sacred becomes shallow. You might find yourself going through motions, without emotion. Surrounded by spiritual ideas, but feeling spiritually dry. This is where Chapter 7 offers a turning point, not from the outside, but from within. It says, let the mind be still. Let the heart awaken. Let go of the need to know more. Begin to feel deeper. Start asking, who is speaking through my breath right now? Who watches me watch the world? What if every moment is an invitation? That's when information becomes realization. Focus. This chapter isn't about rejecting knowledge. It's about transcending it, about not mistaking the map for the territory. It's a call to recognize that behind every piece of information is a presence waiting to be felt. We don't suffer from a lack of knowledge. We suffer from a lack of connection. So next time you scroll through something spiritual, pause. Close your eyes, breathe, ask, can I feel what this points to? Not in my mind, but in my being? Because that's what Krishna is offering. Not just facts, but presence. Not just meaning, but merging. And if this message spoke to your heart, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might be seeking the same silent truth. Together, let's remember the one behind the many,